This definitely isn't good news. How worried should we be given the clout of the IMF?
Good evening. I think it's very important, actually, that the IMF has taken they had recently in South Africa. They're already a bit below market consensus on growth for next year and for 2020, about 1.4 for next year, versus consensus about 1.7. So they've already actually had a more bearish view, but I think this statement took me by surprise in a way. I mean, IMF mission chiefs, and you see Cornell, who heads the mission to South Africa, when these mission chiefs come in, they're normally very bullish on South Africa, and then slowly over time, they get more bearish. And she's only been in position for a year. It seems she's already taking a more pessimistic line, being more realistic on the need for reform and the lack of progress so far.
Now, you could have been fooled that things were actually turning around given those promises of billions in investment in South Africa. Why doesn't the IMF see it that way?
Well, I think the problem for the IMF is how do you put that in a forecast? I imagine they would have asked everyone that on their recent trip. And, trying to make the difference between already existing OPEX and already announced CAPEX, and also the amount of investment that will happen anyway. And I think this is what's got lost in the debate around the investment summit, is that as the economy recovers anyway, there's already going to be new investment happening. New investment happens in the economy every year, and that's why we have positive growth. And just an extra 100 billion, necessarily new investments, if you like. Certainly not negative that was announced. It was good for PR, good for showing there's been some turnaround in leadership. But I think the IMF will struggle to understand how you put that in a growth form.
Now, SOEs, including our debt-ridden Eskom, a major concern for the IMF. The rot runs deep. That's what many officials say. It's going to take time to fix. I mean, do they even consider that when coming up with a report like this?
Sure. I mean, they're always trying to get benefit of the doubt. I think you have to remember how these reports are written. The staff views are very often a lot more bearish, actually, than they come out. That's because they're a highly politicized institution. You have the directors, the South African director of the IMF would have had sight of this before it got published. That's maybe why it doesn't actually mention EWC specifically. It might well have been in there and taken out the language softened, at least. That often happens in these IMF reports. But no, overall, I think they have an understanding of the amount of time these things take, but are looking for commitment at the end of the day and difficult decisions being taken, even with an understanding of the electoral cycle that we're currently going through.
Yeah. Now, there's also concern about land reform and banks' balance sheets. These are, of course, tricky areas for South Africa. Suggestions on how that actually should be addressed is something that many analysts and government officials will say is not really possible.
Well, the real thing here on land reform is the uncertainty. That's what the IMF really talked about, more than the policy per se. And as I've been talking about a lot recently in my research, the land reform overall is a massive positive for South Africa. The 95% of land policy, excluding EWC, is hugely positive, but the debate has been hijacked by this EWC issue. And that's really what the IMF are alluding to as well. I think the issue on banks is actually very interesting. The IMF has been for a while a little more circumspect, and skeptical is too strong, has been sort of raising, I think, and poking South African policymakers about exactly how vulnerable or not the South African banking sector is, and have been doing quite a lot of work on that. And the VBS scandal obviously shows that there are still some holes in the system, even though the regulatory framework is now becoming a lot stronger.
All right, thank you so much for your time and your insight. That was Peter Attard, Montalto in the UK. And apologies to our viewers for the quality